High-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. Master the Markets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hello traders, and welcome to our live trading workshop webinar today. So today what we're going to be doing, so in this interesting, exciting live stream that we are doing for today, what we're going to be taking a look at, one, we will take a look at the live trades that are setting up at the moment. Okay, I have noted silver at the moment, okay, and also dollar yen, which is setting up too as well. And of course, I was taking a look at gold, but gold is in a very strong bull run at the moment. It's fulfilled our strategy objectives. So we won't be taking a look at that. So in terms of the live trades, we will take a look at those 2 or 3 that I've mentioned. In terms of our topic for today, so we've got a very interesting one. It's very popular as well, which is on how to pick the best intraday stocks, okay, using SMI and VSA. So we will, in terms of that, what we will be taking a look at, traders, is that we will take a look at how do you first rearrange those stocks for the best ones in terms of a scanner to look up for the top listed stocks. And then the next is we will apply the frameworks of the SMI, the smart money framework, and then also the VSA principle, which was originated by Tom Williams and then taken over by Gavin Holmes and his team, you know, by the Trade Guider team. So we'll be taking a look at all of that and how you can put that into a practical application to take trades. And then finally, then we'll finish off with some Q&A as well. And then if any events are coming up, yes, there are some exciting events that are coming up, which will also be updating you on as well. So this and more in this live trading workshop. Traders, those of you joining us for the first time today, this is Tirunaupan here, founder of Master the Markets, Illiterates Conference, and the Traders Open Day. So let's take a look at what's setting up. I did mention silver and dollar yen, didn't I? So I did take a look at DAX as well, so I'll take a look at both of them at the moment. So let me put up dollar yen, let it populate over here, and then we can take a look at that in a minute. Okay, gold is really on an outlier run at the moment. We are on Aussie dollar yesterday. We did take that in terms of our clients. End of day swing trading, what we're looking at. Okay, so let me first take a look at silver. And why am I taking a look at silver? Because what I look at is, I always tell people, when the way you construct your strategy is based on recurring principles, okay, that what you should be looking at. And one of the recurring principles that we take a look at, one of the strategies that we trade over here, using both price and volume, the smart money and the volume spread analysis methodology, is to take a look at the range of every single bar, okay? Because an average range should be formed, right, every single day, a recurring principle, as I mentioned. So by doing that, when you use a recurring principle, the edge of your system gets a bit more stronger. That's how we've been able to publish all our results transparently since 2012. So you can see that over here on this bar here, usually we'll get the range over here, about 522, and then we usually do about 80% of that, okay? So if I were to do that over here on the spreadsheet that I've got, I'll show you guys a bit later, that's about 425, okay? So he's definitely not done that, because I did check it just now as well, okay? So it's done about $3, but it's not done $4.25, okay? So that's the first thing I take a look at. The next thing also, what we do take a look at is also the trend and phases across all the time frame, right? My first premise first is to get my direction bias. That's one of my objectives, okay? Then I'll talk about the second objective very soon, right? Before you enter into the market. Remember, entry is only one out of five components in a strategy, okay? Right, so in terms of that, so I will get my direction bias is an uptrend phase one over here, which is what we got around here, right? And over here on the 4 hour, I can see that with our coding, which is done all by our clients as well, where the community itself uplifts the community, you know. All this coding on TradingView of our smart money framework, which you're seeing over here with all these tops and bottoms that have been highlighted, is all have been programmed in by our clients who found this really fascinating. And on the 1 hour, what I'm getting here, this I like this kind of setups. What I'm getting here is actually a compression phase, okay? So there's no trend at the moment, okay? So I'll put a SMC down, okay? Right. And then after that, I will take a look at the 15-minute time frame here. Let me do that. I should have actually loaded that up much more earlier. Oops, 10. I'll take a look at 15. I can see some good volume over here. The elephant in the room, as Gavin would always say. And let me just let that populate out. I will load the 1 hour in here for the time being. You can see some stats at the bottom. I'll go through that in a minute. I know I'm getting already some questions and messages saying that, Chiru, I don't understand some of the terminologies. I'll give you, just hold on a bit. I'll give you all some reference links to look at, okay? So we will definitely take a look at that. Right, so in terms of the 15-minute, yes, it's doing a compression here as well. And those of you on VSA, you would love this setup because this is what we say the test, isn't it not, traders, right? After that is making a higher low. The thing is, when you combine both the methodologies together, it just becomes a bit more obvious, right? So I've got, let me put the VSA light in here as well. That will populate up very shortly, okay? And that will give us the other thing also. So let me just pause that a little bit. Let me see. There we go. We got that loaded in here. There we go, right? So we got that over here. So in terms of that, from the VSA principle standpoint, what we got here, I've got a higher test as I mentioned, okay? And I've got a big volume spike over here as well. And why is it so clear over here that I've got a higher low? And the reason is if you see all this orange arrows here, right? And the orange dots and the blue arrows here, the blue dots. So that is by the smart money, okay, indicator that we got, okay? Smart money indicator based on the smart money framework, okay? So what this does is, with the tops and bottoms quantified, the formulas coming back from the 1970s, which was also then my mentor's mentor coded it based on Richard Wyckoff's principles, right? The founder of VSA, and then got really modernized and popularized by Tom Williams. So if you see over here from the framework, I can create this into a line diagram, and from here, it all becomes very clear, right? You can see that that low over here is higher than that, isn't it, right? A higher low, but this high is lower than that. So we got about 6 trend variations like that, and that's what's been coded into this trend box. And this is what's telling me across all the different time frames, right? What the overall trend is, what direction bias will I take? Okay, so that's the whole premise. So here I'm having an SMC up over here on the 15 minutes. So I'll do that over here. So let me just bear with me on that one. So I'll do that. Let me do that. SMC up. Let's see if we get a trade today in terms of that. Good. Then in terms of the stretch principle, so let me actually load it on the other one here. Then I can clearly see it, isn't it? So some of you who've been following us will understand the stretch. As I said, don't worry. I'll give you all some reference links for the newbies here today. You can see that it's taken out both. It's quite in a bit of a range bound. It's taken out the lower one and then also the upper one. So it's both, but on the latest one, it's not done. Okay, so I will just write over here, both, right? But latest, what are we having? The latest one is to the downside, isn't it? Latest is lowest stretch, right? So that's what I've got over here. Range lines wise, now range lines we got, let me just quickly do this. 8 a.m., right? 8 a.m. I've got this one here. Is this let's quickly check that. That's from 26. Right, it needs to draw it from this one. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll quickly check it on the other one here. This will give me a better picture quickly, because I think something is not correlating on that one. So it's upper and lower stretch here. So both, but the latest one is the lower one. And then after that, traders, what I'm also having here, in terms of the range lines, what time was the 8 a.m. on? 8 a.m. was on here. So range lines, actually, there's NA really here. So it hasn't broken out from both the range lines. So if it does break out, we will have a strong move, okay? That's what we will get. So that's that one there. What's the other thing? So let me just take a look over here. The bro to ST ratio, I will quickly check it over here as well. It's more to the downside as of today. We got $2.22, isn't it? Let me just quickly take a look. 150, 55, right? So if it does it to the downside, yeah, and what am I looking at? $4, 3 to 1. It can, but I'll put the bias towards more the downside. Previous daily low and high, no, nothing yet. So from here, now what I do, and I've shown this to you on many live streams before, is what we then do. So you see, from here, what I do then, traders, is that if you take a look at silver over here, right, what we have done first is that we've taken a look at the trends and phases across the different time frames, right? So over here, I can see that on both of the time frames is uptrend, and then also on the 15-minute, it's a compression, but it's towards the towards the upside as well. So 3 time frames are pointing to the upside, okay? And then let's see on the 1 hour stretch over here, we are having both, but latest is to the downside, okay? And then the range line is not really getting anything from there. The bro to ST ratio is to the downside as well. And then previous daily high and low, it cannot really get anything conclusive there as well. So what I really got across these 8 columns, I've got 3 to the upside, and then I've got 2 to the downside, right? So not really a very clear bias, is it not, traders, right? This is what is happening over here, okay? So the time frames are not correlating. So at this point, even to form my direction bias, I'm not very clear. The price is not really showing a clear direction. My only thing from bar mechanics onwards is saying that it's to the downside, but can that pull the other time frames to the downside? So you see, sometimes if you've seen on the live stream, some instruments on some days is so clear, isn't it? Right? Like look at this on the other time when we looked at it, all pointing to the upside on the gold from about last week when we looked at it, right? So over here it's not very clear. And what I would say at this point is sometimes when it's not clear, you can either take a step back and not trade it and look at other instruments and not force a trade. But if you do want to take a trade, we can take a look at it from a timing perspective. So that's the second objective, okay? So the first thing is a direction bias, traders, okay? So we have formed the direction bias here, which is not very clear at the moment. And then the second thing that we can do with the direction bias, because it's not very clear here, we can use a little bit of timing to get in, which will then confirm the direction bias and the direction that we want to take towards our probabilities. So if I go back to trading view at the moment, let me take a look at this one here. So if it does break that low, so that's the first thing I'll take a look at. Okay, this one here, and I'll marry that up with volume, okay, so that you guys can all see it quite clearly after that. So you see over here, let me just put the lines through. Right, and we're getting potential buying getting signaled up as well. So that would be our 93, $9.36, isn't it? Let me just double check that. Yeah, let me see. 94.36, correct. 94 dollars. Good. So 93.67. So let me take a look. 93.70 is that low? I'm just correlating that with the low over here. Yes, 93.70 as well. So that's great. So I've got that. And that's where the trigger lines are coming from the VSA as well. The real investigative work that we're doing over here is that this big volume that's coming on the seller bar, is that true selling? Okay. Or is that a signal where people have bought on weakness? Okay, that's true VSA principles, isn't it? Now, to answer that question, we look at critical technical levels. Okay, that's what we do. Right, so based on that, what we can then see is if I did want to take a direction towards the downside, then there will be an entry over here, a 9372, and then the stop would be placed over here. Okay, in terms of that. Then our targets will be placed on the from the table here. But I will go through this a bit more in detail a bit later on. So that would be about 60%, and then with all this married up, then it will get a bit more stronger. Okay, I am just going to take a look at gold as well. I'll quickly take a look on the downtrend phase 2. This one is a bit more clearer. Let me quickly take a look at dollar yen as well, see if this is a bit more straightforward. In terms of that, even this is not, it's taken out the lower stretch as well. So perhaps for now, we'll stick to silver and I'll keep an eye, traders, on how this performs, okay? So what I'll do is, let me do this for now. So I will place an entry on the low. So let me do that on the Telegram channel. And then you guys will get the orders through as well. Right? So signal. So we got the same thing here. If I were to see, let's see. This is another one as well. If it does reverse back up, that's a strong sign as well. Let me just correlate this. Just give me a little bit time, traders. And then we'll move on to the topic for today on how to pick the best intraday stocks. Okay. On the upside, what I really need is a break of that high, 9558, isn't it? 95.58. Before we can really take that trade forward. Yeah, also be caught in between. Also, that big buyer bar can then be negated. So either one. So let me see how this, that's our bell on there, on the US session. So if I did want to, so let me tell you what my thoughts are. Towards the selling side, we got here, okay, to trigger us. And you've seen in previous live streams that if, when we don't put the price to enter us at critical technical levels, which is what we call the timing, then you can just get into it unnecessarily and get trapped inside and then hits your stop, unnecessary loss. So it's got to be timed properly by using your critical technical levels. Now, on the upside, this is where I would get in, which is at 9538, if the selling is not real, okay? So if I take a look over here, so that would be the time when it would turn around 9534, isn't it? Yes, correct. Is that 95? No, this should be the one, 9534. Okay, so that correlates well. So 9534, yes, correct. So that will be on the buy side of the equation. For now, I'll just put the sell side, because let me just correlate with the table once more. So it's three things on the upside, but if it takes that down, um, yeah. So the SMC down, so if it does take out both those levels, that will come to downtrend. And then we'll get, okay, good. So we got a good technical level. So what I'll do is, for now, I'll place a short pending order. You get that on the Telegram. So let me do that. So on the low, so let me just put that all through for you guys. Right. And then on the high, 9513. And then I'll put a low with ATR, isn't it? What's the ATR? It's 57 at the moment. Right, so we've got the low minus 57, right? 9371 minus 57. Oops. 9357. Let me see. Minus 57, isn't it? So I'll just do 9300 for now. Round number. Wait, so it's 9370, right? 9320, 70 minus 57. Who's faster in that? 70. Sorry. Just need to get a hang of this one. Do it quickly. 13. So I will do that at 9313. Okay. So that's what we got. Good. Great. So that's into the Telegram channel at the moment. So we'll wait and see how that performs. In fact, I can actually, please do your risk management. So your position sizing got to be there. Since this is an outsider bar, if it does take out that low, I can put the stop a bit more tighter here as well. So that's on the high. So 94.75, isn't it? 94.77 is what I can do at the moment. So it's a 2 cent spread, right? So 2 cent spread, 94.76, 94.78 is what I can do. So 94.78. There we go. Right, traders, so you got that trade now on the Telegram channel. So we'll wait and see how that plans out to be. So just to recap, right? So what are we doing here? And then now let me give you the reference links over here. And then you can take a look. Right, so 9313, isn't it? Is what I've placed it at. $93.13. There we go, traders. So we got all that locked in here. So on the selling side of things, we are going in here, okay, at 93.70, okay, that we are going into the order, into the market. In terms of the stop, we are keeping it at 94.78. And then in terms of the limit order, we're getting it at 93.13, okay? And the premise of this I've already explained over here. We looked at all the different time frames, the direction, the trend, and the phases, okay? We looked at the stretch principle as well. So not only did we take a look at trend and phases across the different time frames, we did take a look at the stretch principle as well. And then the third thing then we did is timing, okay? So then we took a look at timing, where to put it at critical levels based on also combining that volume. That's your elephant in the room, big volume over here. But then the thing what we are looking to find out is if this is real selling or is it buyers coming into this to support that. That's why we have put our entry here, where the trigger lines for the VSA is also at as well, right? And now if it does turn around towards the buying side, then you can see that this is the level that we'll be taking a look at 95.38, okay? And at that time, if it does 95.38, also it will turn the other time frames around and it will start to go towards the upper stretch line, okay? And that's when we will know that the direction bias is turning to the upside. So the timing is very important, traders. So I'll keep this on the watch out over here, and I'll see if it also is going to take out the 95.38 level or not. The first level I will take a look at is this one over here, okay? 95.14. Let me just put it exactly here. We can even start to trap the price. 95.12, 95.14 is what I will be taking a look at. And then the stop can be for these levels here. Okay, after that, it shouldn't really come back. 93.84, okay, is what we are looking at. And then we'll do the same thing. I'll use the table and I'll explain this to you in a minute. We will use the 1 ATR number from here as well, okay? So that's another thing that we can do. I'll put both the orders and then we will delete off the other one, okay? So that's what we'll do. 9511, I've got what ATR do I have here? 5960. So 9511.9571, isn't it? So we'll do that as well. So 95 14. So let me put this other order in there as well. But do remember, once we get triggered on one, then we will delete the others, okay? So that's what we'll do. So there we go. So 95.14. I'll keep an eye on this, right? And I know some of the other traders also will be keeping an eye on this as well that we have on our team. 1 2, so 95.14. Stop for here. 93.85. Okay, is what I've got. 93.85. And then we will do the 1 ATR from this point, okay? Which is at the moment 59. So the high of this would be 95.70 is what I've got, okay? Right, so we got that as well. So I've got both the orders in there. So we'll keep an eye. Whichever one triggers, then we'll cancel the other order. Okay, traders? So we will take a look at that. And also the VSA light is showing towards the downside, the red dot as well. So we'll see how that all plans out to be today. Well, it might be a little bit choppy, but we'll wait and see how that comes. If I really need to do it, if I want to be a bit more conservative, it can be towards the 95.36, but I'll keep it here for a moment and I'll keep my eye on that, okay? I guess that's pretty much that one here. On the live trade, you can see the volume is also increasing over here. So the critical levels, as I mentioned, is those two to track the price, okay, to see where the levels are going towards. So I'll keep an eye on that one. I'll keep it here. Now, in terms of in answer to most of your questions on where can I find out more about this, what you guys have done, what's the stats table about, what is that thing that you put for the 180R, because most people are doubtful about exits and everything. What I would say, traders, is first place to start off is go to 7stepstoctp.com. Okay, that's the one over there, and you should find a link on the YouTube channel as well. After you got the 7stepstoctp.com, after you put your name and email and your number if you want to get live trading updates, then what you can do then, traders, click on the green button after you've clicked on Not a Robot. Then you will get the 7 videos sent to your inbox, okay? So over here, then it will take you step by step in a very systematic, logical manner. This is what we're known for, right? And in fact, a lot of our clients tell us that, you know what, we are the only company, okay, which shows probability stats, and that all comes under video 3 to 5. You start to see it's so systematic, so logical, trust me. But how do we come up with these 3 stats? And that's what will lay the premise, the video 1 and the video 2. Okay. Usually most things, when you formulate something, starts with a problem, isn't it not, traders, right? That's how the whole world is, right? Starts with a problem, then you look to get a solution, and that's how our lives have improved over the years, right? In technology or in any case. So that's how it starts, and you'll see the problem. This problem, they originated it even from the 1970s, and that's how they came up with the solution, okay? Based on the Richard Wyckoff method, which then got popularized by Tom Williams. So those are the videos over there. So definitely take a look at that. And then video 6 to 7 will teach you about the strategy. How do you apply all of this in strategy construction, okay? So those are the ones over there. Now, those of you who already watched it, you can revisit it. Or those of you are thinking, you know what, enough of me sitting on the fence for now. I need to take some action this year, right? It's a new year, 2026. I know we're coming into the third week already of January. You can then get both the indicators onto your charts as well, SMI and VSA. So you can read through that. You'll have a link for that one as well. Those of you who already have VSA already, you can use the discount code that we will put out there as well. So you get a small discount code of that, and you can get that onto your chart so that it looks like this, isn't it, traders, right? So you can have both of it overlaid neatly, the VSA light as well, the greens and red dots, and then also the volume indicators at the bottom, okay? So with that said, then you also can see that on our live stream, on our YouTube channel, right? You can also, if you want to follow us on live stream as well, what I would suggest is, if you go to youtube.com/master the markets, then what I would suggest is click on the subscribe button. But I know some of you are saying, I've usually say this, I've subscribed to you, but I don't get notifications when you guys go live. So what I would suggest is, click on the down arrow over here. And after you click on the down arrow, click on the all bell icon, okay? So that's what you got to do over there as well. After you have done that, then you get the notifications. Another thing that I will also mention is under the home page, you can also take a look at the stretch principle. I know some of you are asking, what do you mean by the stretch principle, this range and all that? So you can take a look over here as well, okay? Under the playlist over there, all right? So once you've taken a look at all of that, this will all start to make a bit more sense as well. We also did a big review of our results over here as well, 2025, and we went through a full analysis, okay, showing you how a professional would look at it as well and validating the reality of that. So you can take a look at all of this. So many that we have done. Also live streams. Live streams are where we do the real life trading in real time, okay? So you can take a look at all of that. Good. So that's what we got on our channel. You also Trade Guider channel. Yeah, do subscribe to that as well. Do the same thing, youtube.com/Trade Guider. After you subscribe, click on the all bell icon. After that as well, same thing on the videos. On the home, you can already see all the last live streams and videos I've done with Gavin and I as well. And then also you can play around with the other tabs over there, okay? So you can see all of that. Quick shout out to Trade Nation as well, who's sponsoring us for in terms of our Telegram channel and everything, they are the ones that are helping us, actually give out the Telegram channel using their services, so it's much more easier for you guys to follow. Also, the other thing is that also they are the proud sponsors of our annual summit as well. Okay, Illiterates Mastermind Annual Summit, and this year as well. So this year's tickets, almost a lot of it has gone out already, about 70-80%. So if you haven't got yours yet, then do get in touch with us. Right, I think that said, let's go on to our topic for today. Let's swiftly move on. So let me take a look. I will keep silver over here. So you see, eventually it's coming down. So we'll see which way they really want to take the trade forward. Okay, the critical level is 9384. So what I'll do, I'll keep this on the other screen. Then later, then we can analyze it, right? So that we all don't get distracted by it, and we can go on to the topic for today. Okay, so in terms of our topic for today, how to pick out the best intraday stock. Okay, now how do we do that? Okay, so first, to help us, because there's many thousands of stocks out there, isn't it, right? So to help us do that, what we will do is we will create a watch list. So on the watch list, it's a good thing on TradingView is that if you come here, so let me show you guys. If you come here and look at the top over here, right? Over here. So firstly, I clicked on this icon over here, which that's your watch list over there. And then what you then do is you can use the populated list. If you click on the drop down arrow over there, then over there, it's already got some pre-made list already. So if you do open list, so you see it's got the popular ones, right? The hot list, if you want to call it, right? So over here, you click on hot list. It's already got quite a few already, right? On the US exchanges, on the NASDAQ, if you want to be just specific on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, whichever ones you want, okay? So if you want your hot list to be based on volume gainers, you can do that. That's what I've arranged it over here. Or you want to see on the percentage change gainers as well, you can do that. Okay, I prefer the volume because we prefer to do both volume and price, is it not, traders, right? So that's what I've done over here. So now, once you got your volume gainers over here, then it just rearranges it for you, right? From the last time, how much has it increased by, what's the change, you can also increase the number of volume, the columns over here as well. So from here, then we can take a look, right? What is the change? So change today is the current one that it's looking at, okay, as it's moving around. So $1.28 it's improved by, and then it's then seeing the change in terms of its percentage. So it's also arranging it. So IBF, this stock over here, is recording it as the largest volume gain over here. So let's take a look at that one, right? From here, okay? Remember, you can always arrange this in whichever way you want. You can also create your own watch list as well. So you can take a look at it in different ways that you want, okay? So once we got this, then we repeat the same process once again. So let me open this up. Let me just do it on here. Or shall I do it on a new one? Okay, never mind. Let me do it on the daily over here. That's your IVO. Fertility on there. So bingo. So you can see that this has got the biggest volume gain, right? That's what it's basically doing it. And you can see it also on the Trade to Win software as well as picking that up as well, okay? So now, again, we do this the same thing. So the first step, what I did is I take a look at the biggest volume gainers, all right? And I look at that through the list, okay? The second thing then I then do is I then will start to do the same thing, direction and timing. Just because I see a big volume spike, I just don't formulate just to jump into the trade towards a buy or a sell. I take a look at all the different time frames. The same methodology what I just did before as well, okay? So that's the second thing that we will start to take a look at, all right? So I just had a quick look over here. So we just got triggered into silver. So I will remove our other opening position here. So confirm. Sorry for that stop. Okay, good. And then there we go. So we will wait and see how this performs. Okay, so good. So I'll keep an eye on that one. Right. So then after that, let me just quickly just double check the stops are in place. 90. Yeah, I think we got that, didn't we? And then I'll be if you go in shortly 94, 70. Yeah, correct. So everything is in the right place at the moment. Okay, good. So I'll just take a look at this. Just give me a minute, traders. So just double checking everything. Some of you are on it already, so that's great. 17. So this one, I just need to alter the target a little bit. Just bear with me. 93.17. 70 minus. Yeah, that's fine. I think we're getting out a bit more earlier. Okay, good. So we'll wait and see how that turns out to be. I'll update you all at the end. I think everything is in place. Right, good. So we got the direct. So we were at the after you got the volume gainers. Okay, this is one way of doing it. And then after that, look at the direction and timing. Now, one more thing I must mention is that after you got this listed here, doesn't mean you also need to take the biggest volume gainer to be one of your trades. What you can also do, right, traders, is that if you just want to trade only the Magnificent Seven only, like for example, if I take a look at over here, these are all the stocks over here. But if I tell myself, you know what, I just only want to be trading only Nvidia, right, which is one of the Magnificent Seven here, then I can then just take a look at those stocks as well. Okay, so but then the critical thing over here is that the main thing is your direction and timing towards them. So maybe I will take a look. I know IVF have come out because of that, because it's rearranging it, the volume gainer. So let me take a look at NVIDIA at the moment. Right, let me just also do that. Change percentage. Let me just put the volume in there as well. I don't think I do need the last one. Okay. There we go, right? So it's giving me the biggest volume at the top, right? The volume gainers, and NVIDIA is here. Box L, so we can take a look at that as well. NVIDIA here, let me just do box L at the moment. There we go, big volume spike over here as well, correlating on that. 79.74 million, that's one of the biggest gains that it's got for today. So let me take a look at that. And then the second thing after I've got that, then what I do with classic VSA principle is I get my direction and timing. Okay, so how will I do that? Just briefly, I know we don't have much time. So how will I do that? I take a look through the higher time frames if I want to let them run for a bit more longer. Do, of course, adapt your time frames accordingly. So you see over here, so I've got downtrend phase one over here on the monthly. I'm doing the same thing exactly what we did in the intraday as well. So I've got on the weekly, there's a downtrend phase one as well. And then on the daily, I'll take a look over here. That's also a downtrend phase one, okay? All right. So I've got all time frames all towards pointing to the downside. And then if you want to, of course, tailor it to more to the lower time frames as well, and then you can start to take a look at them. I'm just curious to see what the 1 hour would be as well. I think all of them are showing to the downside. Okay, so with that, you can see then, if I then go back, that's on the SMC, isn't it? So that's interesting to take a look at. Right. So it's turning around over here. You see on the lower time frame, that's why I wanted to go here. You see it's starting to take out that high over there, right? Classic VSA, changing the trend structure after the no trend place. See, over here is where I will take a look. The main thing I'll take a look is if this were to turn around. So here's the critical thing, right? If this 1 hour is to turn around the higher time frames towards the upside, then I'll wait for this to come down, but not take out this low and get a test. And that's what will confirm this big volume spike towards the upside. Now, if it doesn't do that, right, then I would say that the higher time frames will take over and go towards the downside because it's quite strong, bearish trend. But then, of course, because I've got my framework over here to use along with the volume, I can start to see that in terms of this swing, right? You see where the top got confirmed according to our framework is overextended. And you and I know that nothing can go in a straight line forever, is it not, traders, right? So this will turn around at some point, okay? So that's what we just got to be careful of. So if it does turn around and if I want to take it on the downside, then I'll wait for a confirmation. But then, of course, I'll use my targets accordingly, according to my strategy objective. Every strategy will have its own objective, okay? So just a quick thing over here. So what I would say is, first, after you have done and sorted your list through volume gainers or percentage gains, whatever that you want to do through your watch list here, then pick out the top ones. Again, maybe the top 3, or if you want your selection to be just on the Magnificent 7, you can do that as well, okay? From the volume gainer, so you're putting 2 types of selection first. After that, then what you then do is then put your direction and timing towards that, which is what I'm saying over here. I know it's simpler with the smart money framework and the VSA. And then most critically is the timing. So that's where the patience comes in, right? A trade is about to happen. Remember the book that Gavin will usually talk about? So that's the thing. After you've got the direction and timing where you want to enter, but do remember that the entry is only 1 out of 5 components of a strategy. So then look at all your other components, okay? Right, all the 5 components. And then start to enter with all your other levels all in place, okay? That's how you trade with confidence and conviction towards the strategy edge monetizing itself and realizing itself. So these are the 3 things I would say on how you would pick out the best intraday stocks, and also in terms of application towards the entry as well, okay, on an intraday basis, okay. This is what I am would be telling you to do, and then from there then you can go down to the lower time frames, use the stretch principle and all of that, okay. If you want to use this for investment principles also, you can just follow the same thing what I just said, but the time frames will be much more higher. Okay, I think with that said, let me quickly just take a look at what's happening with silver at the moment. It's just hovering around that area. It's about break even at the moment. What we are having over here, traders, right? It has taken that out quite strongly, but then it's just hanging around there. So wait and see how that plays out to be, and then we'll manage that on the Telegram channel. The main level that if it just does take out, let's see over here, that's at 3 o'clock, isn't it? Is this one here. This low, I'll be taking a look also. 9336, isn't it? 9336. If it does take out this level on the 1 hour, then it will start to go. And then the next one is this one here as well. So we'll wait and see how that all plans out to be. So 9313 as well, which is where our target is. And the range level will be also to be taken out, okay? So, good. I know some of you who want to also revisit this material over here, as I said, you can go onto our live streams, right? If you're saying, yeah, this is amazing, this is very good information, and of course, the best thing some of you are saying is when it's done live, isn't it? That's when we learn the most. Remember here at Master the Markets, we just don't talk theory, right? We show you an application as well. And what we'll also do on our YouTube channel, we will start to reorganize the content So it's very easy for you to follow from the theory, the foundations, then to the application, then to the monitoring. That's how a professional really does it. So we will have a think on that and then reorganize that as well for some of you who want to watch some of it. And also, we are very, very always putting a lot of focus in building our community really strongly so that we all can grow together and learn from each other, motivate each other, and keep the momentum up and to grow very strongly. And I'm very happy to say that the team is growing very nicely, our community growing very nicely, and we got a lot of good programmers joining in our community as well, which is all coding all of this and making it much more streamlined. Okay, so really great. I'm very happy with how things are all progressing. And of course, those of you who want to find out a little bit more about us, liking what we're seeing, it's very systematic, very logical, based on probabilities, which no one shows you. Then you can come to 7 steps to CTP. That's your first step. You can also then get joined onto our email list as well. You can put your name, email, and number. After that, click on the green button. After that, as I said, you'll get all the 7 videos sent to you. And here in video 3 to 5 is where you will really understand what's a real true age, because that's how you show the probabilities, which no one shows out there online. You will never find it, right? And that's how trading should be. Trading should be based on probabilities, okay? After that, some of you want to get both the indicators onto your charts, just like over here, which I've got, with also the volume over here as well. Then you can you can get it on this page, SMI and VSA. And then those of you who want to revisit some of the live streams that we have done over here, see how we are applying the theory as well. What you can then do over here, traders, come to youtube.com/master the markets, click on the subscribe button, click on the drop down arrow, and then click on the all bell icon. Do the same thing on youtube.com/trade guider as well. Okay. In terms of the shout out, just a quick shout out to Trade Nation, as I mentioned before. They are the ones who are sponsoring our Telegram channel as well as our ETM summits and also some of the events that are coming up. Yes, I want to tell you all the good news, which is actually we got invited over to Dubai, right? So we'll be in Dubai in April, right, at the trade show over there. So we will send you all details for those of you on our email list and also through our other social media platforms as well. So those of you who want to see us there, we will be having some speaking slots, live trading we'll be doing there as well. So you want to come and see us, interact with us. I know some of our community is going to meet us there as well. That'd be great. And then we can make a short holiday out of it as well, interact, network and all of that. Okay. So 17 and 18 April is the one. You can mark it on your diaries. You can plan your trip if you want to come there. And those of you already there in Dubai, then come and say hi to us, right? So it'd be good to see you all over there. Okay, so that's happening on the events front. And then the other things that are also happening with us also in terms of our general monthly momentum sessions, which is all for our paid members there as well. I think with that said, traders, I think that's pretty much a wrap up. I will monitor the channel, or the Telegram channel and the Silver Trade, how that comes along. I think other than that, I think that's a wrap up for today. Put in the comments below if you want us to look at any other stocks or any other commodities or any other instruments on our next session as well, or any favorite topics that you want us to cover as well. Okay. Other than that, it's been great. Oh yeah, the last thing I had also in the Q&A that we had, the questions, I mean, the most ones that are generally coming out is the ones I've covered, like where do I find out more about this framework? Where do I find out more about the stats? You can find that all out, as I say, at 7stepsctp.com. Other than that, traders, I know we've shot a bit above time for today. Other than that, as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Take care and bye for now.